We will record this for sharing with you in future or sharing with attendees who are not able to join in for some other reason, some other personal purposes. When we discuss about academics, that is definitely the non-negotiable part of this whole profile building part. It is the basic foundation, how to get ready for the college and how to get ready with your best of grades, how to show the rigor in your course, how to show your intellectual capacity. Then comes the character, which is the main person who you are, your qualities, your empathy, your resilience. How do you take up leadership? How do you join hand with your community? How do you bring impact in with the people you are living with, in the class, in the school, in the community, in your family? Everything matters here. And then comes the engagement. Engagement part is something that brings in the context, like if you are interested in STEM, if you are interested in technology, if you're interested in design, if you are interested in maybe theater, what have you done in that area? How do you know that you are interested? How can you convince an admission officer to uh, show that you are really, really interested in that area? How you have explored the opportunity that came in your way to show how engaged you are in what you want to do in your. So with this, I think it gives a basic introduction. We start with the pillar one, which I said as a non-negotiable. That's a gatekeeper. And this is something that we plan for 4 years, 9, 10, 11, and 12. But to an extent, every course selection have some prerequisite and requisite which you need to take care of. There are the course subjects which are like mathematics, science, English, or any other foreign language also, as well as social sciences. So where you should take AP, like in maths, AP calculus can go far away. It can give you a wide range of choices when you are discussing with your child what are the major they want to do. If they have not decided the major yet, they can definitely have a wider choice till an extent when they decide it. AP calculus can help them. STEM, no doubt. Healthcare also, if they are joining. Even in humanities, it can help them. And even economics they are taking, it's important for them. AP physics can help them in technology. AP biology and chemistry can help them in if they are choosing healthcare. AP history can help them if they are taking social sciences. So these are something that completely aligned that you have to plan for. But then if you are not planning enough, you don't plan for prerequisite classes. Like if you are doing AP calculus, you need to do other algebra 2 as prerequisite. So that need to be taken earlier. So the planning can start from class 8 onwards so that you have a better choice when you are in class 9 and 10. Then the other most important thing which you will showcase in your application is your GPA. That is where we say is the cutoff point which college you are applying to. Good GPA is definitely a basic demand for majority of colleges. Colleges do segregate themselves with the demand of GPA and grades. So to maintain that GPA, you have to balance the rigor of the course, depending on how much can your student take in, depending on what are the choices offered in the school your student is going. Everything matters there, but GPA you should maintain preferably somewhere 3.8 and above. Maintain the GPA or make sure that there is an upward graph throughout the years, not the downward graph. That is more important than just only uh, taking a very rigorous course and showing some less GPA in some of the courses. And then comes the standardized testing. Standardized testing had been little optional thing for last few years, but coming this year, we can see the importance of standardized testing is again coming into place for the application. As you can see, 2023 data, that was just after the COVID. You can see the importance of standardized testing, which is like admission test scores, is little less for the colleges. But now we can see many colleges, which includes Harvard, Yale, uh, Brown, Standard, MIT, UT Austin, everybody is coming back with a mandatory requirement of SAT courses. And I think the preparation for SAT courses is also very important because especially for the kids back in US, they are not so used to giving exams in a limited time with the multiple options and how they are doing it. So practice for SAT should be done in mostly from class 9 or 10 onwards, at least from 10 onwards. PSAT, student can start appearing for PSAT in class 10, and in class 11, they can start appearing for SAT. If they think they can improve their SAT score further, they can also appear in SAT exam in class 12 if because that could be helpful if student is deferred or waitlisted in some of the colleges to prove their capability or prove their intention to join. It could be very helpful if they can show some improvement in their test scores. So do start preparing for SAT courses. Then when we take up other webinar where we discuss about college list, we can think about how SAT score, we can discuss about how SAT score could be given to some colleges and could be avoided in some colleges depending on the requirement of the colleges, depending on the SAT score of the student. So what we learn here is develop your core strength, see some of the subjects which you really want to develop, do it all through 4 years. If it is a foreign language or anything, do one foreign language all through the through 4 years rather than doing different thing. So it's always depth over the breadth. Say don't do too many things at a time. Find the balance. Find the balance where you can show the rigor as well as you can show the grades, and then align your subject choice, align your courses, align your things, time with the goal that you are looking forward to. Whether you are looking forward to STEM, whether you are looking forward to humanities, whether you are looking forward to finance and economics, think at least a broad field that will help you to select the subjects. So this is broadly what we say. Ninth is the last academic year where you can still explore your things. You can still try new things. 10th is where you have to start pointing out, darting what you exactly want to do. Maybe not exactly, at least in a broader sense. In 11th, you need to show the entire rigor thing. It will automatically pitch in because you have to start preparing for your SAT. You have to start appearing for that. You have to start writing the essays. You have to attend workshops. There are multiple other activities that will come up. There is a huge amount of pressure with the students. There is a lot of time management required. And after that comes grade 12, where you might feel that it's a kind of climax which comes down, but that is where you have to hold your rigor so that your grades do not fall. Generally, it has been seen that is called seniorities, which happens like in senior class. You get so relaxed that it can seem a dip in the grade. Please don't do that. Sure, Murray would like to pitch in. I would invite Murray to join us. Murray, do you believe that having too many AP classes is better for academics, or all the straight A students just go to best colleges? Do you believe in
Yeah,
this?
definitely not, Devyani. So yeah, um, Again, like as you said, the depth versus breadth. So you start out at your lower grades with the breadth, explore a lot of subjects, and as you go higher in your grades, you also want to increase your rigor in the courses, which is very interesting to you, as well as you want to explore further major from a major perspective. At the same time, taking those AP courses, ensure that you're keeping up your grades, because just take AP, we are taking AP just to show college rigor. It will defeat the purpose if you are not able to score in it. So ensure that you are being able to improve your scores in those AP courses. Again, from that perspective, if you've taken these AP courses, you have scored very well, that is still not enough for very good colleges, because it's a holistic profile review they do,
Correct.
from recommendations to your activities, your extracurriculars, your essays, your personal statement. So ensure that that holistic profile attention is given. So yeah, AP classes or just academics is not the only thing. I know it's a lot of work for the students, but I hope they are able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Marie. And I would like to add here, like as a uh, parent and a counselor, I know we are both here. As a parent and a counselor, we can help our students to do the time management part and understand, prioritize things, how what is important at what point of time. They do struggle with a lot of pressure, and which is absolutely okay. It's not only your child who is your teenager who is struggling, it's everybody. It's a story of everyone. As a counselor, we have seen everyone is struggling with that, but they sail through it, and let us hope that we can help them to sail through that challenges. So thank you, Marie, for your insights. This brings us to pillar number two, which is character. This is personal qualities and that matters in your application. This is something there is no prescribed thing that we can ask you to do this to bring leadership in yourself or resilience in yourself or collaboration qualities in yourself, build something to show empathy. But this is where uh, the child need to explore things in and around themselves. Maybe a volunteering activity, community services can help, but don't join community services or any volunteering activity just to showcase it. Do it if it is driven by your feelings, by your emotion, for your society, for your community. You really think something should be done about it. It could be something as simple as cleaning your community, making some new replantation to be done in your community. It could be as simple as helping your teacher organize a stage for orchestra, staying back in your school and doing something for them. It could be sometime volunteering to uh, teach a student who is weak in particular subject, and you really think you can help them. In the US, there are students with a different kind of challenges. So if you think you really feel bad for those students if they are neglected or they are bullied, do something for them. Do a hobby class for them. Start doing some painting for them. This is not something that anyone can prescribe you to do it. It is all that comes from within. There is a calling from within that comes for the student, and generally what fits for one student may not fit for the other student. So what feels like a calling from one child, one teenager, may not be the calling for the other one. So but let them explore what they want to do around their society, what they want to do around their community, in their classroom. Ask them to pick up challenges like small things. If they are going for maybe a school trip, ask them to volunteer to manage the students in the bus, ask them to be caring for elderly in the family. It could be small things. Ask them to organize a get together in your family. So these are very simple things that help your child grow. And when they are putting things together in the application, this comes as a personal growth story. This comes as a personal statement. And it's something that we cannot pinpoint. You start it from class 8 or class 7. It should be throughout being done. And if it is not done throughout, then at least you once you realize that they are like 11, 12-year old and they can independently make some decisions, small decisions, start it from there. Help them to make decisions which can solve problem and bring impact in your community. Discuss it with them what they feel like to do something for others. So this is where it I would I can't emphasize more than this and that, but this statement that comes from one of the dean of admission officers of Connecticut College is like, I want my admission officers to ride on the emotional wave that comes with reading application and to hear their life experiencing, whether good or bad, of our application. So this gives that emotional part of your application. Who are you? Who is the student as a person, and how he will grow up in this 4 years of college campus, what he will bring to the table. So this is a very important part of a character. I think it's not only important for college application, it is important for the entire life of the student. This is something they will carry throughout their life. So here there are few things we hear a lot about, students that founding up a non-profit is necessary to prove empathy. Uh, there are leadership quality. If you want to show, you need to have a formal title like being a president of a club or a captain in a sports team or something like that. Do you agree to this, Murray?
Yeah, then so it's good that these interviewers are also good because if they are there is a why to it and how did they do it and what impact they brought. But again, this is not the only way to exhibit leadership. So I can highlight a story of one of our students. The student read about articles related to people who were feeling incarcerated after they were coming out of prisons and they were not able to adjust to the mainstream because of social stigma. It was a statistic when she read it in the article, but then she went to an re-entry organization, outreach to them, and then talked to a few of the individuals who were going through it. Then she came up with the idea that she thought, okay, like me, there'll be many people who didn't understand know their stories. So she wrote about these stories through her own platform to voice their struggles, so that it will be ease their way of getting more jobs while they are out. So that was an initiative that the student did on her own without anybody. It's not a particular activity or it was not a club leadership role that needed to be there for her to do that. Another story I would like to highlight is a student who is he just noticed that his physics teachers were struggling to correct the answer sheets for some graphs
Yeah.
because it was different for every student. Then the student is a computer science major pursuant. So he wrote a Python program, gave it to the teachers, and they were able to now run this with the coordinates, and it was easy for them to correct it. Within minutes, they were able to correct each paper. So that was initiative. The student was empathetic about what the teachers were going through. So this student got a very good scholarship from University of Wisconsin. So this is it. Just be present in every activity that you're involved, whether it is a defined role, undefined role. Be aware of the problem statements around you and try to help out. If you have learned some skill, try to employ that skill and help out your community or wherever you're involved. That will definitely help you and the colleges to see your side of your quality you're good at.
Another story I would like to bring here, add to this one. There is a teenager in our community back in India, and he is kind of he's very passionate about football, soccer, which is soccer. And what he started feeling that kids today are not playing enough. They are doing a lot of social media and other things, not playing enough. So he gathered kids from the community, and 2 days in a week he used to give coach them for football. used to play for some club. Though he was in class 11th and 12th, he started doing that for, for the communities, and slowly it improved, developed into a level where he started bringing in kids for the housekeeping people also. Like if they are interested, they can also. He took permission from the community guards and all those things. So he took permission from that association, and they also started coming in. So that was a good way of doing things, and he got a good chance in Indianapolis, one of the colleges, and I think that's a good story. That when you see what you see around and what you feel for others, and how you can contribute to your people, it's as simple as that, but as I said, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, and
You
when you
really
hear
have
those
to,
stories, you really feel that, okay, you can see who that student is as a person.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you
So
really like you
that's
relate and you comment them. Yeah.
yeah. So there are plenty of this kind of thing. I know that there are students or teenagers who have planned a day out for their grandparents and some elderlies in the, just arrange a bus. Everybody adults also join in when they started it. Book a bus and send them to for a day out trip to Bannerghatta Zoo and have the picnic and all. It's just a simple act of kindness, just a simple act of empathy, which can give you so much and a personal growth. So it's like, let them do it, let them get connected with people, let them get connected with themselves. And I think that is very important, which you can bring in when the application is going. So if we start giving examples on and on, there are a lot of examples. We need to move ahead. And so this brings us to our third pillar of this entire discussion, which is engagement. So this is actually where you show what you want to do and why you want to do. What you want to do means what major you are selecting and what you really want to do once you have got some idea, some knowledge, or what you are already doing it to explore more in that area. So it gives your method of showing intellectual curiosity towards it. It could be, again, it could be any domain that you are interested in. You might be interested in political science. You might be interested in law. You might be interested to start an NGO going ahead in future. You might be interested in designing kind of stuffs. You might be interested in flying a plane, uh, anything. You might be interested in becoming a singer. So what exactly you are doing to do what you want to do in future? What is your problem statement also is comes very important in this area. Why do you want to do? Suppose you want to do uh, history plus data science, or you want to do robotics, or you want to do something related to design. Why you want to do? What made you think that this is an important thing to do? Okay, so here you start showing what you learn beyond the classroom, beyond the academics, beyond your grades, beyond your GPA, what you are doing out of the classroom areas. Are you taking some courses? Are you doing some research? Are you writing some blogs? Are you joining uh, some kind of small initiative where you are ready to explore those things, go deep into it, what you are doing it, what is the impact around yourself that you can bring in with your knowledge. It also requires a long-term engagement. Suppose even if you are not, your choice of doing these things are not aligned with it, you want to study STEM, but at the same time you are also interested in dance. So you have to have a long-term engagement with that part. You, especially in the area like music and sports, it cannot happen in few days. It needs to start very early in your life, and you need to be engaged with it for a very long time. Again, we have to talk here about it's a depth which is important, not the width, not how many things you are doing, not how many activities you are doing, what you are doing and why you are doing, how deep you can go for that is very important. Simple things like taking up family responsibility can also be a part of it. So bring in some real world consequences, bring in some measurable outcomes. And yeah, especially when we were discussing pillar two, I might have skipped one important part, which is doing journaling. When you are joining certain courses, you might not forget. But when you are taking up small things for your community, for your society, for your classroom, for your friends, you can forget it when you are making application. Regular journaling, regular challenges that you are taking up, whether you are succeeding in it, whether you are not succeeding in it, but you are definitely learning from it. Write it down in your journals, and this will be very useful once you are sitting there to write your application, which we are again and again talking in pillar three is intellectual curiosity and impact that you can bring in. So intellectual curiosity is typically shown by learning things out of the classroom, doing projects, doing research, bringing in two, three disciplinary together and, connecting two disciplinary together. So these kind of things can show your intellectual curiosity. And how will you showcase your impact with your work is again, you quantify the outcome, you show some initiative to do something on your own, show some change in the status quo, like what it was earlier and what it is now. If you are, suppose, managing a club of which was already existing in the school, or which was it was not existing, you have started the club with 5 people, now it has gone to 15 people, or it was already a 15 people club, but now it's taking up much more challenges, international challenges, or it's going out of state into competitions and everything. So that outcome, the, having that formal title can be important, but more important is if you are able to take decisions for that club, if you are able to give them a direction, if you are able to take it from point X to point Y. So that is very important for you when you participate in any activities or anything that you are doing. So, and in case of research and all, when you are doing it, how do you show the impact out there is like you learn something when you are joining a course or when you're joining a research or something. After that, what you are doing with that, after that, what how you are taking that results and putting it across in a different way. So that is very important to showcase your intellectual. So this almost brings us into the three pillar of discussion. And what we often hear from many students and many parents here, that having a long list of activities, doing too many things at the same time is better for application, or spending a lot of money and doing a elite summer program can be very valuable activity. So what do you have to add here, Marie? Do you think these are true?
Yeah. So the exercise that we do with many of our students, some of them have joined today. So that is like for each and every activity, whether it is a defined activity or an undefined activity, even the course that they take as an elective as engineering. Also, our main question is, what is it that you did here? Why did you pick this activity? Why did you like this course? And then how did you do this? What were there were any challenges? What was the impact at the end of it, either to you or the community that you were involved in through this? So eventually, that is more impact, and not the number of activities, but in each of these activities, what was the outcome? How did you grow as a person? How did you impact your community? How did you help out? So there was a student who did go to a science award research on a photonic light cell. But then he didn't win that award. But still, that journey made a seed for him to further research on metamaterials. Eventually, the student did a research, got it published. That was a long term 1 year process, cold emailed professors and got a mentor. And then once, now the student is pursuing material science engineering and want to become an entrepreneur by finding cost effective, viable and metamaterials. So in nanotechnology. So that's the thing. That's the story that tells that, okay, where one activity leads to the another, where you're able to expand, go deeper. And that's how it's like you're going to make impact also. So yeah, that's very, so please do be involved in those activities.
So engagement is that's what engagement comes like. It will give you the context. You can be really present there and understand why you are there and what you are contributing there or what you can contribute in it. So yeah, so if we look at how to get ready for your application, um, it's independent learning. Join something which you really feel curious about. Join if you are curious about robotics, if you're curious about music, join something which you can showcase that, okay, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go. Depth over breadth is something we have discuss it again and again. Always focus on few areas which will give you much more context and perspective, which you really think you can really sit down and do it for a longer period of time. Skill that should start early. Like there are many skills that you need to be committed. It needs a uh, like prolonged association with that kind of thing, whether it's a sport or a music. So how does it help is like if you are associated with it for a longer period of time, it will bring in a lot of opportunities where you can join competitions or you can do some performance or you can do some charity show. So opportunities come time and again, right? So if you are associated for a very short period of time, you might not get that kind of an opportunity. And only when opportunity comes, you will test yourself, you will challenge yourself, you can showcase that how much you are into that thing. Quantify the impact, whatever you are doing. You are doing a fundraising thing, you are doing a running kind of example I was giving, like coaching students around yourself. You are uh, starting a club. So some quantifiable impact, like how you started, where it was, how much did you do, how many people you served, how many hours you dedicated, how visible you became, or the club became. Always like that job is more important than you are. So, how important that club became after you took certain decisions. Have to get prepared with essay writing because all of a sudden in class 11th, when you are asked to tell your stories in a nice flow, it doesn't come so easily. So you have to start writing, join essay workshop wherever you can, join some competition, international. There are a lot of international essay competitions. You can start writing essays for those competition, learn some techniques, how to discuss the situation, task, action, and results in your essay writing skill. LOR becomes an important document when you are making applications. Have a good kind of a relation with a couple of teachers. Have good relation with every teacher, but there should be somebody who knows your story, who had witnessed your growth, who have witnessed you as a person. So they can write a personalized LOR for you, which gives a credibility, huge credibility to your application. Journaling event. Definitely journal every short and small and big events in your life, evidences of your portfolio, whatever you are doing. Have all those links, have those, if it is coming in social media, have those things with you, have some photographs with you. If there are some, you have testimonial from your supervisor, have those things ready when you are making applications. Those will be easier to put forward. These things are beyond GPA, how you get ready for your application. This is kind of whatever we discussed as of now. This is the kind of holistic view. What is looked in academics, what is looked in character, and what goes in engagement. We directly bring into what goes where in academics. You, Mari, would you like to discuss this slide?
Yeah.
Where what goes?
So how does it all translate into your application when you're applying? So your transcripts will define the academics, courses, rigor, and the grades, and your standardized test scores, of course, wherever test is required or test where you want to send it. And the counselor school report gives the context of your school. How many AP courses do they restrict it for grade? Or is it like what kind of activities do you have in your school? So that context is given by the counselor. Similarly, the character and engagement, who you are as a person, what qualities that you hold on, will come from the other parts of your application, which is your activities that you'll curate, then your personal statement, your recommendation, your personal growth comes in your personal statement. Your recommendations, your teachers will also talk about who you are, how you have done this, or even external recommenders who are also giving you recommendation, talking about how you have grown as a person or even in your grades, or how you have helped your peers in class, how you have been actively involved in class discussions. So that gives them a glimpse of who you are as a person. Supplemental essays is the biggest one, where it talks about that those can be very targeted questions about leadership, community service, innovation. So all that we have already talked about, how you did it, why you did it, how did you impact, all that story will come through, but have some anecdotes also, because it's not about, okay, it's not like a bulleted thing that you will write. You want to talk about it through a story. Okay, this happened, this experience happened. That makes it more interesting and also makes it more personalized, because you want to stand out from the next person. These anecdote stories are your stories that nobody else can replace it. So that's why have a journal, write about these stories so that you don't forget by the time you come to your application. Honors is something you can talk about it both from an academic perspective and as well as if you are in a debate or you've gone to DECA competitions, you're doing robotics. So wherever, whichever achievement you've taken to the highest level, that will all come in your honors and can cover any of these areas.
Thank you, Marie. So this is where you will showcase everything in your application, and this is how your admission roadmap looks like. You will be asked to introduce yourself, which comes from largely from your personal growth story, personal statement. It shows your self-awareness, your awareness about the community around you. Then comes like, okay, why you want to study, what you want to study, and how do you know that you want to study this? What have you done till now here? So here your intellectual curiosity showcases will be coming. Whatever you want to do, whatever impact you want to bring in your society through your work, that should be discussed here. Then the next question that an admission officer would like to know from you is why this college? Why are you selecting this particular college? You can get admission in any college. So here you have to do a lot of research on the college. You have to join their webinar. You have to see what kind of work has been done in that college, in particularly that particular subject, whether that college fits in your requirement and you are a good fit for that college, whether that college looks for a student like you, and whether you will be a good, you know, you will be able to adjust in that college and bring up something good in that college. So this requires a little bit on your research. This is where I always suggest my students, like when you are applying to college, apply as if this is the only college in your college list. Do some study, do some background check in that college, understand what are the professors working there. Uh, if possible, visit that college, take a tour so that you can visualize yourself sitting in a class of that college. And then comes this question might be asked in many admission officer would like to know what will you do after graduating from here. So if you have any, not that every admission officer is believing that whatever you have planned, you will do exactly that. Your plans will change in 4 years down the line. But what they want to see if you have it, any vision, if you have anything to talk about what you are going to do after 4 years of working in studying in this college. And then definitely, if you are satisfying all these requirements, what is your GPA to sit in my class? So that's the storyline. That's how the roadmap of this goes. Um, I know this could be a generic discussion. We are going to come with much more darting webinars going ahead, essay workshop. Do stay connected with us and let us know if you have any questions.
Yeah, please add any questions into the Q&A section and then we can address it. There was one question that came up with the registration form. I'll read it out here. How do I manage the workload of academics, extracurriculars, and profile building activities over the next 18 months? So, if
Hmm.
we would like to address that.
Okay. So, yeah, time management is something that I always say that in high school students, they have too much of pressure doing extracurricular activities. Suddenly, the course rigor also starts. College applications is starting and all those things. So, when it comes to time management, first thing is we can help them to prioritize. Um, what they are doing and why they are doing it becomes very important. Sometimes they pick up activity just to increase the list. That is definitely not what you should advise them. After maybe ninth grade, let them focus on what really matters. One thing, and second thing, like suppose you have two three activities to be done in a day. Understand which is your most productive hours of the day, which is your some for some students it's the morning hours, some student can do best in the afternoon hours and some in the evening. So understand which is the most productive hours, and understand which of the tasks, like out of three tasks, which task needs much more concentration from you. Give that productive hour to that. Generally we procrastinate, we think like, okay, we'll do it, take it up later. Don't do that. So if you are doing it that in your productive hour, definitely the outcome will be much better. And then don't do keep everything for the last minute. We all understand that you have too much of tasks to handle. So generally, every task will come with a good amount of timeline. But even if a month of timeline is given, student or in general, everybody have a tendency to take it up at the last few hours or last few minutes, last few days. Don't do that. Break up your task into small, small bits of pieces so that you can handle small pieces. Like if you have to do an essay writing after a month, so you do start doing some research by first week, by second week bring up some drafts, so that is how you can break up the task into small pieces, and that will help you in doing the time management rather than doing in the last few days the complete task. We can go to depth of it, but then I think we are short of time. uh,
Yeah,
I think
and
there
maybe
is.
try to connect it. Like when we meant interdisciplinary, if you are into sustainability, you are pursuing electrical engineering, try to see if you can do it an activity for an NGO which is in sustainability related environment. So it can combine, and there you can do maybe a programming thing for them to help out. And in that case, then you are combining your major as well as your community service. So
Correct.
you can be a little bit smart about how you combine two things which you are interested in also.
There's one more question here, Marie, from an attendee. If I don't know about my interest with respect to college or extracurricular, how do I handle high school?
Okay. So yeah, that's an effort that you
That's a
have to then start exploring is what. So
Yeah. So
getting
that's I
also
think a
that's
very
the breadth
common
part.
problem also. Yeah. So yeah.
So you start with the breadth of activities that is given to you, and then you start exploring. And then as you explore, you will have some spark on few of the things. Some of them you may have to do some research on it. Go online, research about that major. Go to the programs in some of the colleges. Look at the courses. Visualize yourself taking those courses. Will you be excited taking that course? What clubs will you be involved in? Then also about because when you go through some websites it's a little bit of an excitement that can provide, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that. So there are these things, it shows where you are interested in, then pursue things related to that. Then as you pursue more and more, you will, as the breadth, then you will know which one is interested, and then you will take it to the next level in your depth part of it. Take internships, do research, take up summer programs related to that. If it's a robotics, get involved in a robotics club. If it is business, maybe take up some finance related, investment related courses. Come up with your own app to right now do some strategies for business, this one. Or take financial literacy sessions for students in your public library. So try to see how you can explore further and further. That helps you narrow down. That is the main reason. And again, we are telling, okay, take up this particular research internship. So all this, why are we doing it? Because colleges provide so many resources. They are just not teaching you academics. They are going to provide you a multitude of clubs there. So much internship opportunities. There is research opportunities. They want you to come and make use of that resources. They need to have that glimpse that yes, the student will do more than academics, will be able to come and utilize all the resources that I provide to the student. So that is the reason we want you to try all of it and then be able to also eventually any major that we are right now going into a career is just to impact society, whether it is mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, biology, pre-med, pre-law. Eventually, this is all to help society. So you have to again this community service is also yes, I will take time from my own schedule to be able to help the next person in my community. So we want to give proof to the college that yes, I will come and I'll make use of all these opportunities to make myself a better person as well as being able to contribute to the campus community and beyond afterwards to the society.
Yeah, I would like to add, like, in case you are still not aware about your interest, at least you understand couple of areas, 3, 4 areas, which really makes you feel to go on. Understand those areas, at least those areas, and invest yourself. And there is no harm in going undecided. There are like almost 20 to 50% of the student in many colleges who join undecided. And there are 30% student who actually changes their major even after joining the colleges. So having this confusion with the major is not very uncommon. But if the student at least have an idea, core idea, like what they want to do, that problem statement which we were discussing earlier, at least that core area is there, then it should help them at least getting invested in few activities which really make them happy and make them go on. So
Yeah.
that's how we can go about with it as of now, with the interest of time. Definitely this discussion is something that it needs much more investment of time and us together. We can do it on one-on-one, but yeah, I think that is good as of now. We can definitely talk to you about it in detail. Um,
Yeah, one thing I would like to add here is about the interest. You know, pursue any interest. It need not be something with respect to college. Whatever you are interested in, it could be a sport or a music or dance or martial arts, whatever, but pursue that at some competitive level.
okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, be
Yeah,
curious. Curious about
yeah,
everything.
bring in. Like a lot of kids nowadays are just interested in environmental things, sustainability, and other things. Maybe those profession is still not existing today. It will exist 4 years down the line. We don't even know that. So let them do if they really feel they need to do something about it. It's okay.
And you
So
don't
that's
have to be
that's what
overwhelmed
is
at the start itself. Yeah, just baby steps. Each activity or involve, each research that you do will lead you to the next step.
next step. Yeah. And that's what happened. I always feel that professions chooses you, not you choose your profession. So it will choose you. You will get in touch with those people who can take you further in this area.
We hope we answered your question.
So with the interest of time, I think that is all here we have. So thank you everyone for joining. And please write if you have any further question you didn't ask during this webinar. Please feel free to mail us. We will try our best to answer it in our best of capacity and experience.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your time. Thanks from Jupiter. Thank you.